Hello cake buddies, it's your favorite cake engineer. Today I'm going to teach you how to trim a round cake. On our last video, I taught you how to trim a square cake to perfection. If you have not watched that video, you have to check our channel and watch that. Now on this episode, I'm going to teach you how to trim a round cake. Trimming a round cake, it's a little bit trickish. It is different from trimming a square cake, where I taught you how to use a square in assisting you to get your edges perfectly. Now for trimming a round cake, you have to make sure that first things first, your cake is properly stacked and sitting on a stacking board. Now when you want to trim your round cake, you definitely need a very good and sharp trimming knife. And I told you that in our last video that using a very firm trimming knife is very important. So if you don't have one, you need to get one. Now if you want to trim your round cake, one thing you need to know is that after trimming your round cake freehand, the round cake needs to remain round, which is very important. So trimming your round cake is trickish, but the technique is that you have to hold your trimming knife vertically straight. Now this is very important. If I bend this trimming knife in, that means after trimming, my cake is going to have a smaller base and a big top. And then if I bend this trimming knife this way, then at the end of the day, I'm going to have a very small top and the base is going to be big. So you have to hold your trimming knife straight, and to do that, this is the right way to hold your trimming knife. Now the question you ask is, why not just ganache my cake and not trim? The one thing you need to consider is that not all cakes you want to ganache. It's not all the cakes you're working on that you want to use ganache on them. And then another thing when you trim your cake is that you can use less thickness of fondant in covering them, and you still get them perfectly smooth and straight. Now in trimming this, when you hold this knife perfectly this way, one thing you need to do is that you need to take a motion of up and down motion gradually while you trim. Now your concentration is to make sure that all the layers of the cakes are actually aligned while you're trimming. Now you're using a trimming knife which actually works like a saw. So one thing that is very important is that the movement of your knife, it has to be to and fro, up and down. That's the only way you can trim. You don't drag. Now when you're trimming, you do this gradually. Trimming. Now don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and also follow, so that we can get more of these videos to you. Now if you're trimming, you do this gradually. You push it gradually while you're going round, and also using a turntable, because you will need the turntable to rotate the cake while you are trimming, which is very important. If the cake is static, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to get your trimming right. So we're going to be doing this gradually. The idea is getting everything aligned. Now you see I'm holding the knife. Okay, so you trim gradually. Most important thing is that everything gets aligned while you're trimming. Trim gradually. Now once you've gone one way around the cake, then you have to take a look. Sometimes you need to go a distance away from the cake to see if what you've done is properly aligned. When you've done that, then you can still follow it one step more for perfection, making sure that you're holding the knife straight. One thing you need to avoid is that you don't have to try to look at the base of the cake while you're trimming, because naturally if you do that, your hand is actually going to tilt towards that direction, and that is going to give you a smaller base. So you need to make sure that you maintain holding the knife straight while you trim. So we do this, we trim gradually while we're moving around and turning with the table. The turntable helps us. Without the turntable, this is going to be a little bit difficult because you're going to turn manually. So it's good you have a turntable that works just fine. So trim. So you can look at this now. Our cake is looking straight and properly trimmed. So I'll just make some adjustments. So So when you're trimming, make sure you're just taking off crumbs from the body. You don't have to take it too deep in, because when you do that, you're actually going to alter the shape of your cake. But you want your cake to maintain that roundness. It is not you trimming and taking it off the shape. You only do that when you're trying to trim into a novelty cake. So with this, we have our round cake perfectly trimmed and ready to be covered with fondant. See you on the next video.